Hey, welcome back to Logical Republican. Thank you for stopping in again today. Remember, if you like what you see and like what you hear, please hit that like button. The subscribe button is right next to it. And if you'd like to share it with a friend or I don't want to say foe, but somebody who maybe has a differing opinion than you, just to get a charge out of them, do that as well. Okay, so we've had roughly 24 hours to digest the Joe Biden coup. Yes, coup, not a stepping aside or a resignation, or it was a coup. Come on now. This is what communist countries do. They do this kind of stuff. Kind of, third world countries with dictators that maybe don't get along with the military. They issue a statement, and then, of course, they're taken out back and disposed of. We can't do that here, but basically, we did. We disposed of Joe. He sent a letter to the people. There was no video, no news conferences, no TV cameras, and nobody questioned it. He passes the torch to his VP in a statement that was all purposefully written by, it seemed like some Madison Avenue whiz kid. Oh, it had all the right things to say, blah, 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 blah. But where's Joe? No Joe. He's got COVID. The only person on TV yesterday who I think actually questioned where's Joe was Wolf Blitzer on CNN. And he kind of had that quizzical look, and he didn't really say anything. He asked around, the other people, the guests that were on his show, and the conclusion was, well, it must be because Biden has COVID and he has a raspy voice or something like that. There was no questioning this, right? I mean, this is a total go-around, a bypass, a LeBron James to the hoop to dunk usurpation of democracy. 14 million people voted for Biden to lead the ticket. The Democrats, the White House, everybody knew that Joe was incompetent during the primaries, yet nobody said anything. They let it all happen. Now, maybe there were other candidates who would have been better, but we'll never know, because now we have 4,000 delegates who are going to place their votes for Kamala Harris, because that's what the party wants. The party, the party, the party. That's all that matters. Now, I'm just wondering, does Joe, does he even know what's happened? Have they told him, or is he still in some kind of isolation? Or maybe he just flat out didn't agree with this, because he's been kind of, defensive about the whole thing of stepping aside ever since the debate. But, it was, at the end of the day, his bosses, those invisible people who have been pulling the strings the last 4 years. And now they said, Joe, time to go, buddy. What exactly can he say? Here's kind of how the meeting would go. Joe is sitting there in his lazy boy chair, and they've got a semicircle around him. All of the unknown string pullers, the puppet masters, if you will. And they say, look, Joe, we're the ones who forced out Bernie. We forced out Pocahontas, and then we forced out Mayor Pete Butt. And we greased the skids for you. Now, be real. You wouldn't be here if that didn't happen. You wouldn't be here without us. They may have said that. Now, remember, if you can, Joe and Jill, you never won a primary state election until we got everybody out of the way for you. Never. In the 27 times you ran for president, never happened until South Carolina, because, well, you were the only one on the ballot. We booted them for you. You are here because of us, and now it is your time to go. Goodbye. Jill isn't happy. She had her moment in the sun, however. Come on now. She married well. Whoopi Goldberg gave her the greatest compliment ever when Whoopi suggested that she would make a great Surgeon General on national TV. Ooh, she's not that kind of doctor, sorry. But really, there have been zero questions about how this has all happened. There have been zero questions about what's been going on the last 4 years. He didn't suddenly get old. He didn't get old all of a sudden at that debate. He was old 4 years ago. He was old 12 years ago. He was old, creepy old Uncle Joe when he was picked by Obama in '08. He was crazy old Uncle Joe. And now he's just, I mean, again, he's probably a really nice guy. But honestly, gosh, I mean, look at him. He's 81. But then again, so is Mick Jagger. And Mick Jagger is still prancing around on stage for 3 hours. Joe gets a cup of warm milk and a laxative and calls it a day. But the cover-up. Nobody is questioning the cover-up. The White House. His inner circle. Kamala Harris. The press. All the news channels, right? CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NPR, NBC, I've already said them. They are all complicit in the cover-up. They have said absolutely nothing. They've known. They see him wandering the wrong way, or they see him pooping his pants. Oh, it's trick photography. Nobody drills down. Why? Because, well, the party can't have any of that, right? It's all about power. It's all about us winning. So, it's the press corps, it's the news channels, it's the newspapers, it's the magazines, it's the bloggers, it's the staffers. They're all guilty of this cover-up, but nobody is calling them out. Except Fox News. But, like Obama said, if you watch Fox News, you must be from another planet. So, look, this is ridiculous, right? None of my liberal pals are even saying anything. They're just doing a victory lap for Kamala. I saw a post this morning that said, if anybody says anything negative or derogatory or whatever about my comments, I will delete you. Yes, because I must think like you. Groupthink. Can't be any dissension. No. Have to think like you, have to talk like you, have to feel like you. But if there's anything that's differing about me, then I'm doxxed, I'm kicked out, I'm deleted, I'm canceled. Okay, that is the Democrat. That is the Democrat way. Honestly, the only person other than Wolf Blitzer that I saw question this was kind of Chris Cuomo last night. Remember him when he was on CNN? He's now on some third-rate channel, and I don't even remember how I found it. I was just kind of flipping through news stations. And, he kind of said, look, it's probably going to go to Kamala, but maybe not. Maybe there's another person. And by the way, you, the American people here, got screwed because you got hosed in a primary where you voted for a guy who clearly wasn't up to the task, but it was completely covered up by the White House. At least he said something, right? He was really the only one who kind of dove into that. But, the news networks, again, this is like a team sport. And news networks, once upon a time, were bipartisan and they reported the news. But I'm watching CNN yesterday, and there's a lot of we. We and us, and we have to defeat, and we can't let Trump win, blah, 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 blah. We. Over to MSNBC. Us. It's us. It's us. It's a team. It's like the Celtics and the Lakers. It's us versus them. It's absolutely crazy that it's come to this. There's no questioning the party. If the party says something, we stick to it, and we don't ruffle anybody's feathers. We don't argue. We sure as hell aren't going to ask a tough question about, what's been going on the last 4 years and who's been making the decisions. No. It's us against them. And now we've got Kamala Harris, who I mentioned before, people will vote for a French poodle rather than a better candidate. And again, a lot of people don't like Trump, and that's okay. Wonderful, okay? A lot of people don't like Kamala Harris. They think she's incompetent. Word salad. Here comes more word salad. But again, it doesn't really matter how we got here, according to the Democrats. It doesn't matter how we got here. It doesn't matter if Joe was kicked out. It doesn't matter if Kamala was not my choice. We just have to win. We got to win. It's, root for the home team. Jerry Seinfeld said that we're rooting for laundry because if a player gets traded, well, the new player is now in his old uniform and we're rooting for his uniform, so we're rooting for laundry. It's ridiculous. So the Democrats win, Kamala wins, we get 4 years of word salad, okay? Then we get a stacked Supreme Court, then DC and Puerto Rico become states, and the electoral college is gone, and more illegals come in, and then we will have a one-party state. And that's what you're going to get if you and when you vote for Kamala Harris. So please don't. But again, that's just my opinion. All I can say is get out and vote. Vote for whomever you choose, whomever you like. Again, that is your choice. That is why we live here. Okay? There is no threat to democracy. It just is what it is. Now get out and vote and do your thing. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Again, if you like it, hit the like button. If you like it more, subscribe. And if you want to piss somebody off, hit the share button. We'll see you soon. See ya.